Making headlines. The President concludes his official visit to India. The President affirms that his official visit to India was successful and played a pivotal role to enhance the bilateral relations between the two nations. And BML launches its USD ATM service in Mafushi, fulfilling a pledge made by the President.
Welcome to the English News. I'm your host Malak Ahmad Fayaz. Now for the news in detail. President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu concludes his official visit to India.
The President travelled to India upon the invitation of Prime Minister Narendra Modi to attend the swearing-in ceremony of the Prime Minister in the Council of Ministers of the Government of India. Upon arrival at Indira Gandhi International Airport in New Delhi, President Dr. Muizzu was received by one of the senior-most officials currently at then Ministry of External Affairs, Pawan Kapoor, High Commissioner of the Maldives to India, Ibrahim Shahib, as well as High Commissioner of the Republic of India to the Maldives, Monu Mahavar. During the official visit, President Dr. Muizzu attended the swearing-in ceremony of the Prime Minister Modi and the Council of Ministers of the Government of India. Prime Minister Modi is the first three-term Prime Minister to be sworn in since former Prime Minister of India. The Indian President administered the oath of office to Prime Minister Modi during the ceremony, which was attended by thousands of dignitaries, including leaders from neighbouring countries. Following the swearing-in ceremony, President Dr. Muizzu participated in a family photograph with Indian Prime Minister Modi and other heads of state and government. Following the oath-taking ceremony, President Dr. Muizzu attended the official banquet hosted by the Indian President, honouring the presence of leaders of neighbouring countries attending the swearing-in ceremony of the Prime Minister of India. The President was accompanied by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Musa Zamir, and the Minister of Finance, Dr. Muhammad Shafiq. During the President's visit to India, India's Union Minister Dr. Jai Shankar paid a courtesy call on President Dr. Muizzu on June 10th. The meeting took place in Taj Palace Hotel just hours after the swearing-in ceremony. The meeting focused on bilateral collaboration, with both the President and the Minister expressing their eagerness to strengthen the long-standing relations between the nations and cooperation in areas of shared values and mutual interest.
President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu affirms that his official visit to India was successful and played a pivotal role to enhance the bilateral relations between the two nations, benefiting the Maldivians. The remarks were made by the President during a special interview to PSMNEWS following his visit to India.
President Dr. Muizzu travelled to India at the invitation of Prime Minister Narendra Modi to attend the swearing-in ceremony of the Prime Minister in the Council of Ministers of the Government of India. Speaking to PSMNEWS, President Dr. Muizzu described the visit to India as a success, noting that it was a beneficial trip for Maldivians as well. Reflecting on the visit, the President expressed his delight at being invited and thanked the Prime Minister Modi for the invitation. During the trip, President Dr. Muizzu met several dignitaries of the Indian government, including the Indian President, Prime Minister Modi, and the Minister of External Affairs, Dr. Jai Shankar. The President expressed confidence that the meetings would further strengthen the long-standing relations between the two countries. The President affirmed that the strong ties between the two nations would bring prosperity to the Maldives and Maldivian citizens. Additionally, he expressed optimism for successful bilateral relationship in the future. This official visit marks the first visit to India of President Dr. Muizzu since the assumption of office on November 17, 2023. The visit portrayed the strong relations between the two nations and revealed that the discussions will further enhance and strengthen the bilateral ties.
Bank of Maldives BML introduces its United States dollar USD ATM service in Mafushi, fulfilling a pledge made by President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu.
The new ATM installed at Mafushi branch will support individuals and businesses to withdraw and deposit USD conveniently. It is the first USD ATM outside Male City and adds to the existing ATM network in Male, Hulmale and Velana International Airport VIA. Director of Retail Business and SME Banking at BML, Musa Nimal, said that they are delighted to introduce the first USD ATM in Mafushi to cater to the growing need for USD deposits and withdrawals on the island. He also said the Mafushi economy is thriving, and as the nation's biggest bank, they are here to support individuals and businesses with 24-hour banking. BML recently announced the expansion of services at its Mafushi branch to offer a full range of banking solutions and services. Mafushi branch now operates as a full-fledged branch, offering all services including USD deposits and withdrawals, loans and financing applications, check deposits, issuing statements as well as currency exchange. BML is committed to supporting individuals, businesses and communities across Maldives with a nationwide network of 38 branches across all 20 atolls, 86 self-service banking centers, 144 ATMs, cash agents in all habited islands and a full suite of digital banking services.
Principal Secretary to the President on Public Policy Abdullah Nazim Ibrahim underscores the crucial importance of political appointees and civil servants to work in the same direction to expedite economic development.
Speaking at the closing ceremony of the 4th Civil Service Conference, Principal Secretary Nazim shed light over the civil service of the nation. Nazim stated that the entire service is based on the satisfaction of the civil servants and those seeking service. He further emphasized that the civil service plays a pivotal role in national development, stressing the significance of fostering an environment conducive to collaborative efforts between governmental political leaders and civil servants in pursuit of shared objectives. Highlighting that the civil service of the nation has been developing gradually over the year, he noted there are several significant questions to be considered and raised to further strengthen the service. During the ceremony, President of the Civil Service Commission, CSC, Muhammad Nasir, emphasized the paramount need to bring amendments to the way the Commission provides services. The resumption of the 4th Civil Service Conference was lauded following a hiatus of 4 years. Throughout the conference, comprehensive discussions took place pertaining to the changes required within the sector to enhance and strengthen the civil services for the nation's development. Noteworthy contributors received memorial certificates in recognition of the papers presented across diverse fields. The Civil Service Conference is an event to be held biannually, with its initial conference held in 2014. The conference was held in 2016 and 2018 and was halted since then.
Minister of Health Dr. Abdullah Khalil emphasizes the critical importance of abstaining from tobacco consumption. These remarks were delivered during his address at the ceremony commemorating World No Tobacco Day. Speaking at the ceremony, he highlighted alarming statistics revealing that Maldivians collectively spend $117 million annually on cigarettes, a figure indicative of severe health and financial consequences. Additionally, he stressed personal responsibility in maintaining health and urged individuals to reject tobacco use, paving the way for a healthier community. The minister further aligned his message with President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu's vision, announcing plans to establish community health centers known as Damanaveshi across various atolls during the current 5-year presidential term. These centers aim to implement preventive health measures focusing on overall well-being. He also noted the present administration's commitment to enhancing urban primary health care facilities across all cities, reinforcing their dedication to public health. Concluding his speech, Minister Khalil called for active participation from councils, associations and the public in efforts to combat tobacco use. He strongly reiterated the collective role everyone plays in creating a tobacco-free environment, advocating for widespread support in the initiatives to prevent tobacco consumption. The Health Protection Agency HPA launches the Dafara campaign aiming to abstain tobacco consumption among children and youth, with a specific focus on strengthening parental involvement in national anti-tobacco efforts.
Minister of Health Dr. Abdullah Khalil inaugurated the campaign during a special ceremony held to commemorate World No Tobacco Day. In his address, he highlighted a significant rise in tobacco consumption in the Maldives, particularly among young people with increased use of cigarettes, vapes and shisha. Expressing concern over the prevalence of tobacco use in Maldivian society, Minister Khalil emphasized the crucial role of parents in guiding their children away from such harmful habits. He underscored the importance of parental engagement in safeguarding children's well-being and instilling positive values and habits, ultimately contributing to their overall health and development. He further urged all parents to actively participate in this endeavor, stressing the pivotal role they play in shaping a healthy future generation. As part of the campaign, the present administration has announced plans to conduct training programs to implement the Dafara initiative across all atolls. Additionally, strategic systems will be established in each atoll hospital, supporting individuals who wish to quit smoking. These measures reflect the administration's unwavering commitment to combating tobacco use and promoting public health at both national and community levels. The Dafara campaign represents a holistic approach to addressing tobacco consumption, with a strong emphasis on parental involvement and support networks for those seeking to quit smoking.
The Ministry of Higher Education, Employment and Skills Development publishes the list of students who will receive the government loans intended for higher education, vocational training and international study opportunities. The Higher Education Ministry revealed that over a total of 1,709 students submitted applications for the loans, while only 1,153 students were eligible. Of these, 1,015 students were selected to be given the loans under the loan scheme. Speaking at a press conference, Minister of Higher Education, Employment and Skills Development, Dr. Maria disclosed that 148 students submitted applications under the loan scheme for pilot studies. However, after observing the capacity of the Maldivian Aviation Academy, MAA, only 10 students who got the highest marks on merit basis were given the opportunity for pilot studies. Furthermore, the ministry affirmed that the students selected for the loan scheme will be issued sponsorship letters by June 13th. The application process for the loans, which began on February 29th, concluded on May 2nd. Initially, the ministry offered 500 opportunities for student loans covering studies from diploma to PhD levels. Of these, 370 slots were reserved for students pursuing new fields of study, while the remaining 130 slots were allocated for other categories. Minister of Youth Empowerment, Information and Arts, Ibrahim Wahid, reveals that work has begun to formulate regulations to provide state budget assistance to media outlets, following a pledge by President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu. Speaking at a meeting with media editors, Minister Wahid said that the ministry has convened with heads from online and print media to outline the funding regulations. He also said that future discussions with television station heads are also planned. Additionally, Minister Wahid emphasized that the government's budget allocation policy for the media aims to foster self-reliant and independent media sector in the Maldives. He also said that the initiative seeks to elevate journalism as a respected profession free from domination by specific groups and to promote a free pass. He further mentioned that the Parliament will include state funds for media outlets in the upcoming year's budget. In addition to financial support, the government is working to establish a media village to create an optimal environment for media operations. Minister of Fisheries and Ocean Resources Ahmad Shyam reveals that the ministry is collaborating with the Housing Development Corporation HDC to address issues concerning the Kanneli jetty in Hulumale. The Bodo Kanneli Masweringe Union, BKMU, has voiced concerns about the Kanneli jetty, noting that it is a designated area for fishermen but is currently being used by cargo ships. As such, Minister Shyam acknowledged that these concerns and emphasized the government's commitment to resolving them in partnership with HDC. He also said that the space in the lagoon is limited due to the ongoing reclamation for the third phase of Hulumale. In an effort to tackle the housing crisis in the country, the government initiated land reclamation for the yacht marina development as part of the Hulumale Master Plan in September last year. The project will result in the reclamation of 63 hectares of land. The Auditor General's Office AGO states that the Housing Development Corporation HDC incurred a loss of $713 million due to the Bimveria housing scheme.
The audit report released by the AGO shows that several state-owned enterprises (SOEs) experienced significant losses last year. Specifically, HDC faced severe financial losses attributed to the Bimveria scheme. The report also shows that the state should compensate for these damages. The Bimveria scheme involves the allocation of land in Hulumale, Gulifalo and Girawarfalo. It was planned to distribute 1,351 plots in Hulumale, 2,218 plots in Gulifalo, and 5,432 plots in Girawarfalo. The audit report reveals that HTC suffered a loss ranging from $467 million to $681 million due to the free allocation of these plots based on HTC documents. The report also detailed that HTC lost $500 million in land value alone, along with an additional $214 million in potential revenue from the commercial allocation of the land. In response, the government has decided to compensate HTC with land to offset the loss of revenue. The AGO noted that an agreement with the Ministry of Finance has been reached to determine the $500 million in land value compensation. The AGO concludes the distribution of free land under the Bimveria scheme will result in substantial losses for the country in the future.
A special telethon, Maldives with Palestine, organized by the public service media PSM to provide assistance to Palestinians, is scheduled to take place from June 8th to 12th. The telethon will be officiated by President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu.
During a program aired, Managing Director of PSM, Zina Zahir, discussed the final arrangements for the telethon, emphasizing the priority given to placing fund boxes in popular gathering spots. A total of 13 charity boxes will be placed in the Malé City region. All fund boxes will remain open until sunset except for the one at TVM building, which will close on June 12th at 10 p.m. To ensure the security of these fund boxes, police officers, Girl Guides and Scouts will monitor the areas. For individuals unable to visit the fund boxes, online donation options will be available. Zina disclosed that 2 accounts have been designated specifically for securing funds obtained through online platforms. The account details will be revealed at the commencement of the telethon. Additionally, activities for children will be held at the TVM building on the evening of June 12th, including face painting, drawing and coloring. Zina also mentioned that unlike past telethons, PSM will not charge any fee for this event. Efforts are underway to secure an independent auditor to ensure transparency, with the auditor recruited under Corporate Social Responsibility (CSR) guidelines. The funds raised through the telethon will be channeled to Palestinians with the assistance of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and will be sent through a United Nations UN administrative body. Opportunities are open for all individuals interested in participating in the telethon.
Minister of Climate Change, Environment and Energy Tariq Ibrahim announces that over 200 stalled projects due to anticipated coral bleaching will resume operations this year.
The decision follows the Environmental Protection Agency (EPA) issuing permits to restart the projects, which were initially suspended on May 9th due to concerns about coral bleaching in the Maldives. Coral bleaching caused by a rise in sea temperatures has been a growing concern, prompting EPA to take proactive measures. Addressing to PSMNEWS, Minister Tariq emphasized that coral bleaching has been a significant issue across different regions of the Maldives in recent months, but noted a gradual decrease as sea temperatures have fallen. With EPA granting permits, some projects have already resumed, signaling a positive step forward. However, Tariq reiterated that the primary cause of coral bleaching is insufficient oxygen reaching the coral due to increased sea temperatures, particularly near project sites like lagoons. The Maldives has experienced coral bleaching multiple times in recent years, with the last significant event occurring in 2016. Minister Tariq highlighted that the peak season for coral bleaching has passed, and if projects adhere to EPA standards, environmental damage can be further minimized. As a result, major developmental projects such as land reclamation, dredging lagoons and laying pipes and cables near lagoons will now proceed, contributing to the country's infrastructure and economic revitalization while ensuring environmental sustainability.
Oil giant Saudi Aramco says that international investors had snatched up the bulk of shares sold in its latest offering, which was set to raise $11.2 billion.
The majority of the shares constituting the institutional tranche of the offering was allocated to investors located outside of the kingdom. The company said in a statement before shares were to begin trading on the Saudi bourse as it reopens on Sunday. Sources close to the situation told AFP that around 58% of shares were allocated to international investors, up from around 23% for the company's initial public offering in 2019, which was the biggest flotation in history. The sources, speaking on condition of anonymity to discuss the private information, said around 70% of orders outside the local market came from the European Union and the United States, while others came from Japan, Hong Kong and Australia. Aramco, the mostly state-owned jewel of the Saudi economy, announced on May 30th it would sell 1.545 billion shares, or approximately 0.64% of its issued shares on the Saudi Stock Exchange. The secondary offering was expected to provide a short-term boost to Saudi Arabia's finances as the Gulf Kingdom builds large-scale projects, including resorts and stadiums, as part of ambitious economic reforms. It was also widely seen as a test of foreign investor interest, more than halfway through an economic reform drive known as Vision 2030, whose ambitions are reflected in so-called Giga projects such as NEOM, a planned futuristic megacity in the desert. Saudi Arabia is the world's largest crude oil exporter, and the government's stake in Aramco is around 81.5% after the second share sale. Aramco said it would price the offering at 27.25 Saudi riyals, $7.27 per share, at the low end of the range of 26.70 to 29 Saudi riyals announced in late May.
Singapore Airlines says it has offered $10,000 compensation to passengers who suffered minor injuries on a flight hit by violent turbulence last month, and will discuss higher payouts with those more badly hurt.
A 73-year-old British man died and several other passengers and crew on board flight SQ321 from London suffered skull, brain and spine injuries during the terrifying high-altitude ordeal. The pilots diverted the Singapore-bound Boeing 777-300ER carrying 211 passengers and 18 crew to Bangkok, where the injured were taken to hospitals. In a statement on Tuesday, the airline said it had sent out emails offering $10,000 in compensation to passengers who sustained minor injuries during the incident. The airline said that those who sustained more serious injuries, they have invited them to discuss a compensation offer to meet each of their specific circumstances when they feel well and ready to do so. Passengers medically assessed as having sustained injuries, requiring long-term medical care and requesting financial assistance are offered an advance payment of $25,000 to address their immediate needs. This will be part of the final compensation that these passengers will receive. In addition, the carrier said it would refund the airfares of all passengers on the flight, including those who are not injured. It said that all passengers who also receive delay compensation in accordance with the relevant European Union or United Kingdom regulations. Under the Montreal Convention, airlines are liable for damages for the injury or death of passengers while on an airplane. It has also been shouldering the medical expenses of the injured passengers and had arranged for their family members to fly to Bangkok when it was requested. The airline said that SIA remains committed to supporting the affected passengers who are on board SQ321.
Real Madrid coach Carlo Ancelotti denies that the Champions League winners would refuse to play in next season's expanded Club World Cup, claiming comments he made to an Italian newspaper had been misinterpreted.
Ancelotti posted on social media that in his interview with Il Giornale, his words about the FIFA Club World Cup have not been interpreted in the way he intended. He said that nothing could be further from his interest than to reject the possibility of playing in a tournament that he considers to be a great opportunity to continue fighting for great titles within Real Madrid. Ancelotti had been quoted in Monday's edition of Il Giornale saying that players and clubs will not participate in the new tournament. He is quoted as saying that a single Real Madrid match is worth 20 million euros and FIFA wants to give them this amount for the entire cup. He also said, like them, other clubs will refuse the invitation. Real Madrid, whose last season won the La Liga title under Ancelotti, as well as a 15th European Cup and Champions League title, were also quick to distance themselves from the remarks. The club said in a statement on its website that Real Madrid CF would like to announce that at no time there has been any question regarding their participation in the new Club World Cup to be organized by FIFA in the coming 2024-2025 season. It said that their club will therefore take part as planned in this official competition, and they are proud and excited to be involved in it, and we will once again inspire millions of fans all over the world with another trophy. The expanded 32-team Club World Cup is proposed to take place next summer, adding to an already congested calendar for players. England's Professional Footballers Association has warned FIFA that players could go on strike.
Apple unveils Apple Intelligence, its suite for new AI features for its coveted devices, and a partnership with OpenAI as it seeks to catch up to rivals racing ahead on adopting the white-hot technology.
For months, pressure has been on Apple to persuade doubters on its AI strategy after Microsoft and Google rolled out products in rapid-fire succession. But this latest move will take the experience of Apple products to new heights. Chief Executive Tim Cook said as he opened an annual worldwide developers conference at the tech giant's headquarters in the Silicon Valley city of Cupertino, California. To help towards the end, Apple has partnered with OpenAI, which ushered in a new era for generative artificial intelligence in 2022 with the arrival of ChatGPT. Chief of OpenAI, Sam Altman, said on social media that he was very happy to be partnering with Apple to integrate ChatGPT into their devices later this year. Apple Intelligence will also be added to a new version of the iOS 18 operating system, similarly unveiled Monday at the week-long conference. Apple executives stressed privacy safeguards have been built into Apple Intelligence to make its Siri, digital assistant, and other products smarter without pilfering user data. According to analysts, the big challenge for Apple has been how to infuse ChatGPT-style AI voraciously feeds of data into its products without weakening its heavily promoted user privacy and security. Senior Vice President of Software Engineering at Apple, Craig Federighi, said that the system puts powerful generative models right at the core of your iPhone, iPad and Mac. But Tesla and SpaceX tycoon Elon Musk lashed out at the partnership, saying the threat to data security will make him ban iPhones at his companies. Musk is building his own rival to OpenAI, xAI, and is using the company that he helped found in 2015.
That's all the news we have for today. Thank you all for watching. Assalamualaikum, doniya kali ke muling ha program ka marhaba dan nawang doniya kali ke mi program ai ke badal kali agan hafiz satu satar doniya kali